how we can keep businesses open and keep businesses healthy and strong. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me. How
Yes,
are
sir.
you?
I'm doing good. It's a little bit rainy out here in League City today, and I feel great, though. I assume, are you in League City right now?
I am. I'm in League City.
So can
And you're right. It's thunderstorming, and we expect it to be probably heavy rain all day.
can I guess, can we learn a little bit about yourself? So are you originally from this area? What do you do for work, and then how do you serve the community?
Yeah. So I'm born and raised in League City. I left to go to college in Austin, University of Texas. Got a degree in economics. Came back, and now I'm a business owner. I own KHEA Landscaping. I do real estate, and I also serve on city council here in League City. So I've been on city council going on 5 years now, and I've loved every minute of it. It's not for everyone, but I've enjoyed it. It's definitely been a worthwhile experience for me.
I saw a post that the city of League City put out yesterday mentioning, I think, some of the positions are going to be opening. Is that one of your positions, or how does that work?
No, my spot's up again in 2022. So this time around, there's 3 positions open. All 3 are council positions. I think Larry Milliken is going to be running for re-election. His spot's up. Greg Rapon has served for a full term. He won't be seeking re-election. And then Todd Kinsey is term limited out. So those are the three positions that are going to be up for election.
Okay, so speaking on city council, I saw that there was some information put out. I saw the Daily News did an article on community impact as well on the CARES Act funding in League City. So what's going on with that?
Right. So I'm not the subject expert on the CARES Act. We have internal staff that are working diligently to figure out exactly what all it can be used for. Our emergency manager, our legal team. But the way I understand it, we have a certain amount of money allocated to us from the federal government. Most of that is a reimbursement. So we spend it, and then we can apply to the federal government to be reimbursed. And they give us guidelines on how that money can be spent for it to get reimbursed. I think our federal allocation is just over $5 million. Some of the things it can be used for is overtime expenditures for public safety personnel. Some of it can be used for testing, and there's a whole host of other things that it can be used for. But right now we want to make sure whatever we spend it on, we can get reimbursed. So that's kind of the process that we're undertaking right now.
Yeah, and then there was also a vote to put potentially 18% back to the county so they can continue testing. And I believe it was you and Chad Tressler were the people who were voting for that, and then everybody else decided to not. Why did you think that was a good idea?
Yeah, so our staff has told us that they have not found, I guess, $5 million worth of expenses so far. The county was asking for 18%, which came out to 1.2 million or something like that, to put towards their COVID-19 testing program. I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. I do think that the county showing their accounting for everything they're spending that money on is very important, which is what some of the other council members were concerned with. But at the end of the day, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Testing is one of the best ways that we can combat this disease. So I feel like whatever we can do as a local government to support more testing in our region will benefit all of us. We probably will revisit that issue in a couple of weeks. And if so, then I hope that the other council members get the information that they need, and we can do some real good for our neighbors through that program.
Okay, so back in April, there was the League City Emergency Turnaround Task Force, and you helped oversee that. Can you kind of share what efforts y'all showed to support these local businesses?
Yeah, so April, we created the League City Emergency Turnaround Task Force. Dave Johnson is the chair of that. We have a bunch of local business leaders from different industries that are on that task force, as well as some of our own city staff. Activities they've undertaken so far, this Open for Business. We took the workplace protection pledge. So businesses can go online, take a pledge saying that they're going to stay informed and take measures to keep people safe. If they do that, a representative from the task force, either myself or someone else from the Chamber of Commerce, will go by, give them a pledge they can sign. They can put it in their window, basically telling the community, hey, we're committed to keeping you safe. And really, we want to make sure that businesses are allowed to stay open. And the way that we can help them stay open is by educating and encouraging the public to just take small steps to slow the spread. If we are able to keep the spread of the disease down, then I don't think there will be pressure from higher up to close the economy again. So that's the goal. We want to keep people safe. We want to support local businesses. The League City Task Force has been doing a great job. They have a website up, leaguecity.com/taskforce, and on that webpage, there's so many resources that any resource you might need during this pandemic, whether you're a business or an individual, that is a great website for you to visit. And yeah, if you're a local business in League City, go and take that pledge, and the city and the Chamber of Commerce will give you some good publicity and tell people that you're doing things the right way.
All right, I like that. I like that. So at the beginning of last week, I saw that the Galveston County Judge had appointed you to be, is it the chair of the Galveston County the Business Task Force? Can you share about that?
Yeah, Judge Mark Henry a few weeks ago asked me if I would chair the Galveston County COVID-19 Business Task Force. He saw what we were doing in League City, liked it, saw that it was getting results, invited me to take part in that activity. So it's myself, the 8 Chamber of Commerces inside of Galveston County, the Galveston County Health District, and representatives from the county itself are part of this team. And we're doing a lot of the same things that the League City group has done. So we're rolling out actually today. There should be a press release coming out sometime today talking about the Galveston County Promise. And that's the campaign that we're going to be pushing throughout the county. And that's going to be businesses can take a promise that they're going to stay informed, stay up to date on the latest guidelines, that they're going to, sanitize more often, provide personal protective equipment for employees and customers, and do a number of things. And if they do, then we'll go and make a video, take a picture, put them up on social media, celebrate their efforts. So very similar to what we're doing with the League City group, but we're taking it countywide.
And the main goal is to keep the businesses open and operating safely, right?
Yeah, the main goal is to keep people safe and rally together so that businesses don't have to close down. Because the sad truth of it is, if we have another shutdown, another stay-at-home order, a lot of these small businesses aren't going to make it. I mean, we've already lost some here in League City and in the county, and I don't think a lot could survive another shutdown. So we got to do something as a community to support them, because our complete identity and complexion will change if we lose some of these businesses.
Yeah, I agree. This is Gardy with KHEA Radio. I'm talking to Hank Dugie, League City Councilman, also helping with the COVID-19 Business Task Force. You getting appointed to that position, it seemed like anytime I hear the word task force, the first time I heard it, I think was like from the president. I was like, this sounds awesome. There was like Space Force, then it turned into these different task forces. How does that feel, I guess, to be a part of these different task forces? And does it sound like as surreal to you as it does to me?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. So I'm involved, as you know, in a lot of different activities as a city council member. And I really, truly believe that you find time for things that are important to you. And this is one activity that is very important to me. So I'm just honored to be able to serve in this capacity, whether it's called a task force or a board or commission or committee. They're all the same to me, but you're right. Task force does have a ring to it, doesn't it?
It does. It sounds awesome. Can we talk about your time on city council? You know, a lot of people, I saw some posts saying like, I'm interested in running, and people were saying, you know, I've been talking about it or everything else. How much time does it actually take to serve? And I guess, what do you get back? Is there any kind of give back for you?
You get back, you know, the warm, fuzzy feeling of contributing to society, making your neighborhood, your community a better place for all. It takes, I'd say, a bare minimum. If you're doing just what's required of you, maybe 5 hours a week. But honestly, if you're going to run for council and be one of my colleagues, I want you to be putting in at least 10 to 20 hours a week. So there's a lot of activities that go on throughout the week, mostly nights, sometimes weekends, that you're not required to be at. But really, if you're doing your job, being a representative of your neighbors, you should probably be there. So let's go with 10 to 20 hours a week. It just depends on what's going on. As you can imagine, right now is a very busy time, so we're putting in a lot of hours. But I'd say run. Like if you're interested even in the slightest, then put your name in the hat, run, tell people what you're about, what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, we're only as good as the people that are signing up to volunteer to run for these positions. And the way democracy works is it's ideas. So if you put your ideas out there and people like it, then who knows, you might get elected and you'll be interviewing with Gardy sometime next year.
Yeah. It's true. It's a real possibility. How have things changed with COVID-19 and meetings? Obviously, we're doing this through Zoom. Is that something that y'all are experimenting with or using and implementing with the city?
Yeah, I'd say at least 80% of the meetings that I'm taking part of are through Zoom or some virtual platform now. It provides an interesting challenge. Technology is always, I know in your business, technology, I'm sure, is a challenge for you sometimes. So our IT staff has been doing a great job of keeping all of us on the right page. When we do meet in person, we social distance, we limit the capacity in the room or the building. When you see us entering and exiting the rooms, we're wearing face coverings. Once we sit down and we're properly distanced, a lot of us will take our mask off just because it's difficult to speak and to hear what people are saying when they're wearing a mask. But we're getting through it. And I mean, the team that we have in Lake City, the staff, the council members, they're great. And I think everyone is staying optimistic and positive and upbeat. And, we got through Hurricane Harvey because we pulled together. We're going to get through, COVID-19 pandemic because we're all pulling together again. So bear with us and stay patient, but we're going to get through this.
Working with these local chambers, I think you said there's 8 chambers, in the county y'all are going to be working with. Are y'all having like brainstorming sessions like, hey, anything's on the table? What can we do to make these businesses keep going?
Yeah. So we meet every week for an hour or two, and we're talking with the health district about ways. So primarily, what information do business owners need to be successful? What questions do they have? How can the health district, as the medical professionals, answer those questions? That's number one. And then number two is how can we celebrate and get this information out that these businesses are taking steps. So we have a website that's going to be launching. I think it might be up right now. Let's see.
And I guess my, one other question specifically about the chambers is, for people to be able to take that promise for the Galveston County, the promise, do they have to be a member of the chamber, any of the chambers?
They do not. Any business in the county can make the promise. And yeah, we have the website up. So the website's up right now. It's gccbtf.org. gccbtf.org. That's Galveston County COVID-19 Business Task Force.org, but it's just the acronym. So that website's up. It has on the front page frequently asked questions for businesses. It has a button for you to make the promise. And as each week, we're going to be updating it with new information that we're hearing from business owners that they need. So yeah, you can go on there and take that pledge now. We're launching that Galveston County Promise campaign today. So
it's awesome. Yes.
Perfect time for me to be on the show, Gardy.
It just works out, doesn't it? Sometimes it works out. Just perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to share while you're on this morning?
Oh man, I'm so gracious. I'm so appreciative of our community. I mean, I even before the governor came out with his mask mandate, I was noticing most people were starting to wear a mask, and that just goes to show you how compassionate, how considerate, respectful people are here in Galveston County, here on the Texas Gulf Coast. We're Texas tough. We can weather any storm, any pandemic, but we're going to be smart about it. And whether there's a mandate or not, people down here care about each other. So I'm just so thankful for everyone that's been pitching in to help slow the spread. Early indications are that the numbers are heading in the right direction. I'm hoping this will be over sooner rather than later, but I think we're going to be going through this for at least another, 3-6 months, probably through the end of the year. So be patient, stay strong. We are stronger together. Let me show you this hat. LCTX, stronger together.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking the time this morning. Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Dugie.
Yes,
it's KHEA